Abhaya Sutra. It is the sutra of transcendence. So, this also leads to a state of nirbhaya or fearlessness. If you are not so physical, there is not much fear in you. The Devi Sutra is more like a protection. The whole science of yoga itself is extrapolated in the form of sutras, various kinds of sutras. Over 200 sutras makes the whole body. Yogic knowledge. So, when they say sutra, in that context, they're talking about just the basic. When the Yoga Sutras, when we say Yoga Sutras, when Patanjali kind of assimilated Yoga Sutras, sutra means a thread. He gave only the thread. He left the responsibility, the mastery and artistry of making the garland to each master. The sutra is same, the thread is same, but what kind of garland you make out of it is different. There can never be a garland without the thread, but nobody ever wears a garland for the sake of the thread. Wear the garland for the flowers that it bears. You can put flowers on it, you can put beads on it, you can put pearls on it, you could put diamonds on it. But without the thread, there is no garland. But you never wear the garland for the sake of the thread. Thread is vital, but that's not it is not a purpose by itself, it's not a goal by itself. So, we found many other ways to use the thread. You have heard of Mangal Sutra. You tied one. It was properly done. The idea was binding two beings as one. That was the idea. Today it's just become a ritual, that's different. But if someone is there who knows how to do this, you mix up the two DNAs in such a way that energy-wise they cannot be separated. Doesn't matter what happens. Many things may happen in the course of life. You may quarrel over big things, you may quarrel over petty things, but you cannot separate because the energies are bound in a certain way. You have to tear yourself apart, that's the only way you can go. It's not like shedding your clothes, it's like peeling your skin off. Abhaya Sutra is not made to bind you. Two kinds of sutras, both are being called Abhaya Sutra. The terminology Abhaya Sutra goes better with the Devi Sutra, which is red in color. When you get the sutra for the Panchabhuta Aradhana, which is connected to the Dhyanalinga, it is more to enhance certain dimensions of who you are, fundamentally to enhance the spiritual dimension. Then why is it being called Abhaya Sutra? You need to understand Bhaya means fear. The basis of fear is your physicality. If you are not physical, would you have fear? Would you? No. It is the limitations of the physical which causes fear. If you were not at all physical, you wouldn't be fearful of anything, isn't it? So in that context, it is Abhaya. But essentially, it is the sutra of transcendence. But we did not want to use too many names. You'll get confused, you know. So, this also leads to a state of nirbhaya or fearlessness. We can call this Nirbhaya Sutra, that is Abhaya Sutra. That is more like a protection. This is to enhance the spiritual dimension of who you are so that you become less physical. If you are not so physical, there is not much fear in you. So the Devi Sutra is more like a protection. There are two ways to be free of thieves. If you're always afraid a burglar may come into your house and steal, one way is to put a guard outside. Another way is not to have anything and nobody will come. Even if you invite him, he won't come, he'll go somewhere else. So this is his way, nothing, so nobody will come, so fearless. There, you want to put a guard, you still have stuff, you want a guard. I see many hands which have both. That's good. So how to dispose it? You can keep it for a minimum of 40 days. If you're not using soap, too much soap, it will last much longer. If you're using a lot of soap, at least for 40 days it will remain vibrant. If you're using only cold water, it will last much longer. If you're having bath with warm water, at least 40 days it will last. It is… if the thread maintains its tenacity, then it will maintain the energy. So somewhere between 40 to 60 days, if it's just become a thread, there's no point wearing thread and walking around. So you can take it off and put it somewhere where it'll disintegrate easily. Usually the tradition is to dig a small hole near a plant and put it because it gets watered and within 3 days it will be gone. It should not get into somebody else's hands, that's important. Something that's been so intimately on your body, a certain marriage has happened between you and Devi and between you and Dhyanalinga, a small-scale marriage. When that has happened, it's best that it should not get into somebody else's hands. If they know how to use it, they can finger you. So you must always bury it. If you don't have a place to bury, you must burn it. You can burn it, take the ash and smear it on your body from your Vishuddhi down. That's a simple way of doing it. Otherwise, you bury it. The idea that we need to protect this planet itself is a convoluted idea because it is not because of us that the planet is there, it is because of the planet we are there. Even to think me and the planet is a completely wrong notion because what you call as myself, the physical presence of who you are, is just an outcrop of this planet. Whatever you experience as a part of yourself, with that nobody has to tell you, please take care of this, anyway you will take care of it. The planet is for all of us and we cannot exist here by ourselves. Our existence here is not because of our economic activity. Right now we are made to believe it is because of the percentages of growth that's happening in this country you will live well. No, we will live well here if everything is green, beautiful, water is flowing, air is pure, we will live well here. This idea has to go into every human being's mind, into every citizen's mind, into every child's mind. You must always be conscious of the life other than human life. Most people are not even conscious of the human beings, so I'm reminding you, you must be conscious of everything that is alive. A tree, a plant, a blade of grass, a grasshopper hopping, you must be alive to everything. Constantly the air around us is entering us and coming out of us, and this is the basis of our life. What you exhale, the trees are inhaling. What the trees exhale, you are inhaling. There's a constant transaction going on. If we stop this process of breath for 1 minute, we understand that without transacting with the air around us, we cannot live for a moment. Similarly, on the level of water and on the level of earth, this transaction is going on. So how we keep the atmospheres around us, the water bodies around us, will determine the nature and the quality of our life.
Whenever a child enters people's lives, they always think it's time to teach. No, when a child enters your life, it's time to learn. Because between you and your child, who is more joyful? Child. So who should be a consultant for life? Definitely he's better qualified than you, isn't he? You have to teach him a few survival skills that he will learn anyway. You can also guide him a little bit. But when it comes to life, he's able to make any simple situation a joyful situation. So definitely he must be the consultant for life, isn't it? It doesn't matter how glum you are, if you have a child in your house, unknowingly you will laugh, unknowingly you will play, unknowingly you will dance, unknowingly you will crawl under the sofa. These are not things you've done for a long time. So, the most important thing is don't infect a child with what you call as adulthood. This is not adulthood, okay? This is just suicide in installments. With anything, he can make a situation wonderful for himself. It doesn't matter what. You give him a piece of wood, with that he makes his life for the whole afternoon, isn't it? You have to learn to live like him. And see, when you were growing up, whatever problems when you had, did you go to your parents or to your friends? Whom did you share it with? Friends. Why is it that parents who have been with the children right from day one can't be good friends? You just have to get off your pedestal. That's the most important thing. And be a friend. If he has anything, you should be the first person that they share with, isn't it? Yes? That's a very important safety net for the child. It doesn't matter what their problem is. If you leave that level of openness and friendship with them, if they come to you first, there's every possibility that they won't get lost in something, especially in a society like this, where the moment the child steps out, you don't know what influences are going to catch him up. The most important thing is this, the parents should get off that pedestal and start treating them as equals, and this has to happen right from childhood, you know, that he never sees you as somebody who's pushing him around or bossing around or all the time advising him about something, that you are very much a friend, he can talk to you and you talk to him as an equal. If this is maintained right from the beginning, when he is developing and when there are possibilities of he's taking wrong steps and things like that, you will be the first person he comes to. That is something we have to build, isn't it?